My name is Jessica, and I have been with Wellness Method for about a year and a half now. And I love to hear our wellness partners' testimonials. I love when we call our patients wellness partners. I love when they thank Dr. Cobbsar and Judy for helping them with health restoration. I've always had a fascination for natural wellness, and I feel really excited and blessed to be a part of Wellness Method. I want to introduce Judy. She is a certified holistic health coach, wellness practitioner, and nutritionist, and her and Dr. Bradley Cobbsar own Wellness Method Clinic, where they help others to restore their health every day. Judy Kristen Cobbsar, everyone.
Thank you. They put you guys like right up here, right? So like you're right here. I better keep my spit in my mouth tonight.
We don't want to miss anything.
Right, I guess not. If I talk loud over here, I'll just kind of walk down the middle. But really good to see everyone here tonight. I'm happy to be here standing because as I was driving, I remembered that the seat warmer on my car is still broken, so it's on. It's been that way since the winter. So it was nice to be able to get out of the car and stand up, and now I'm not on fire anymore. I'm on fire in a different way because I want you to know that I don't usually start out saying this when I come into a room, but I want you to know that there's a whole nother level of living that you can get to when you start focusing on your health. See, we weren't meant to struggle with our weight. We weren't meant to not sleep. We weren't meant to doubt ourselves and feel bad and slug around, conditions and not feel great. We weren't meant for that at all. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. We're going to be talking about the fact that there are now thousands and thousands of people that have focused on their health, and now they no longer are feeling the things that they were feeling when they actually sat in this very room, in these very seats, which I think we were here a month ago. So basically there's people 30 days ago that were here that are well on their way to a different level of living. And the reason why I'm so candid about saying that is because I just felt it on my heart as I was driving here, because I hear so much struggle all day long outside of our clinic. Because when people come into our clinic and work with us, there's hope now in their hearts, and they see the results that other people are getting. But it just was on my heart to say that to you right up front, and to let you know that tonight we're going to have a conversation about that. We're going to be talking about you, about the health of your body and your life. This isn't going to be one of those seminars that maybe you've been to before, something that you've watched online, where it's really clinical and technical, or it's really hypey and showy. It's not going to be that way. I'm here to talk to you, because you're here because there's something unsettled in your life and with your health. That's why you're here. And so let's just really be honest and address that, right? So that we're not wasting time, so that what we're doing always is moving in the direction that we want to go. So we're going to be talking about you, about the health of your body and your life, because Dr. Cobbsar and I believe that your health should be one of your top priorities. Because as we age, what tends to happen to our health? It starts to deteriorate, right? Things start to go wrong. So by a show of hands, how many of you in here, as you age, want to avoid that and reduce the risk of chronic illness and weight gain and disease and depression and medications and not sleeping, right? And so this is what we find at our events and our seminars, and we give seminars all over the place, is that really tonight just becomes a formality, because it's not a matter of whether I can move you to start doing something about your health. I know you already want to. I read your surveys. 95% of you put a number 10 on your motivation for wanting to change things, right? A couple of you, you're at 5 or a 7, which is fine. You're not there yet. Maybe you'll be there halfway through this talk tonight. Maybe you won't. But the thing is that really this becomes a formality, because if we're being honest, you're all here because you want to improve your health, yes. And so really, it isn't a matter of whether I can talk you into it. That's not my job. My job is to present you with solutions. So it's really a matter of how fast you want to go. When do you want to get started? Because what you're going to hear tonight, what we're going to have a conversation about, is that this approach that you're going to learn about tonight is the vehicle that can bring you to restoring your health and reaching optimal health if that is your wish. So, congratulations for being here. Buckle up, okay? we're gonna get started. I have 3 goals for you tonight. My first goal is I want you to understand why things decline as we age. Second, I want you to know that things can turn around. So I want you to know why things aren't working, and then I want you to understand how things can start working. And then finally, my third goal is to inform you and educate you about the solutions and the opportunities that are out there where you can start turning your health around. Sound good? Okay, so you're going to learn about functional medicine tonight. You're going to learn about Dr. Kobsar and my Recreate program, which is the name of our functional medicine program, which has helped countless people all across the country restore their health, turn their health around, and I'm walking, breathing proof of the success of functional medicine, which is a holistic, natural approach, and the success of our Recreate program. Because even though I'm standing here talking to you, and as Jessica said, I'm a nutritionist, I'm a health coach, and I have some initials behind my name, okay? Who cares, really, when it comes down to it? I've been in the struggle. There was a time in my life where my health was really bad. I had a little one, she was 1.5 years old. I was a single mom, and it's difficult enough being a single mom, but when you're a single mom with health struggles, it's even harder. And I was dealing with chronic pain in my back and my hips, digestive issues, insomnia, depression, and anxiety. How many of you know I wasn't that great of a mother? Okay? I wanted to be, but I couldn't be. There were days where she would come up to me and want to play, and she's just little. And I wouldn't, I'd have to say, no, I don't, Mommy doesn't want to play today, I don't feel good. But tomorrow I'll feel better. And the truth was, I didn't feel good. But the other thing was, I didn't want to play because I was depressed. And I wasn't myself. And it compromised my life, compromised my relationship with my daughter. Now, I wish I could tell you that I started researching. I went online, I read books. I wish I could tell you that I was looking for a holistic approach, but that's not my story. My story is that I struggled for a really long time. I went to the doctor. What do you think they gave me? Medications, right? Those medications were not helping me. They were just masking the what?
Pain.
The pain, the symptoms, all of that, right? It wasn't until I suffered a back injury that somebody led me to go see Dr. Kobsar. His team was also working on physical ailments as well as functional medicine. And not only did his team restore my back and my injury, but I went through the Recreate program not even knowing what it was, but trusting that it was going to be something that would change my life. And it was. I've been medication-free for over 13 years. I'm healthier now than I was in my 20s and 30s, all because of this holistic, natural approach to restoring your health. But I struggled for a really long time because I was in the healthcare system. I was going to the doctor, and they were prescribing me medication. And there's an issue with our healthcare system that I know you all know. I don't have to educate you about that we're in a healthcare crisis, yes or no? Okay, what are some of the reasons that our healthcare system is failing us? What's going on in our healthcare system that's not supportive of resolving our issues? What's going on? What have you experienced that is part of the crisis? Say that.
Pharmaceutical.
What about the pharmaceuticals?
They are controlling everything.
They're controlling everything, yes. What else, Maria?
I think they just want to be quick about it, not find out more what the root of the cause of it.
Right, right. How much time do you get when you go in typically?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Yeah. Right, that's kind of the average. In that time, they write you a prescription for medications. You take that medication. Is that medication going in and resolving, like Maria said, the root cause of your imbalance or health issue or weight issue, yes or no?
Really, probably not doing things.
No.
Make it worse.
It's masking the symptoms, you still actually have the issues, right? And I want you to know too, I'm not here to bash doctors. Okay, I'm not. Doctors have good intentions. They want to make you feel better. That's why they went to medical school. But they're now handcuffed in a system that doesn't allow them to practice the way that they want to practice. I also want you to know I'm not going to be just giving you information tonight. because that's not going to help you either. I'm not going to hand out pamphlets. I'm not going to give you standard information, okay? Because when we just get information, is that going to change our life, the information? No, because how do you know, does that apply to you? That general information, right? No, I'm not going to do that because I want to tell you the truth. I want to be a messenger of the truth because we haven't been told the truth about our health. Okay, so you're going to get great education tonight, and then you're going to get some action steps to take right away. Okay? I also want you to know that we're very transparent at Wellness Method. Like Jessica said, we don't call you a patient. When you work with us, you're a wellness partner because we partnered with you in your health. Transparency is, we don't cure you. We don't cure diseases. Okay? Who cures you? Yourself. Yourself. But you just don't know how to do it yet. That's the only thing that's lacking, is a good plan, guidance, a lot of scientific proof, solid structure, right? Proven systems, mentoring, coaching. That's what you're going to hear about tonight. So back to our healthcare system. I'm also not going to be giving you my opinion tonight, because my opinion is not going to be helpful to you either. I'm going to be speaking from a place of experience. Mine and Dr. Kopsar's combined clinical experience, studies, research, statistics. One of the statistics I want to show you right away is from the World Health Organization. 90% of diseases prevalent today are not treatable with orthodox medical procedures. Orthodox meaning you go to the doctor, they prescribe you medication, or they tell you to go get a lab test. That's considered orthodox medical procedures. Okay? The other thing we need to take a look at is what's going on with our health because of our healthcare system. So 90% diabetes has tripled since 1980. Heart disease, cancer has tripled. These are all still expected to triple again in the next 20 years. So are we headed in the right direction, yes or no?
No.
We're not, but yet we have the most expensive healthcare system in the world. There's 129 healthcare systems in our entire world, and we're number one. But that's not a good thing. We have the most advanced technology. We have the most committed doctors. They go to school for a very long time. But yet, this is the direction that our health is going. So there's a serious problem, would you agree? How about insurance? You guys all have insurance, right? What does your insurance cover? What do you pay for monthly? Because I know you pay a lot every month for stuff. What do you get to do in the medical system? What does your insurance cover?
Medicine and surgery.
Covers medicine and surgery, medications, procedures, surgical procedures. What else? Blood tests, lab tests, x-rays, scans,
Access. I consider it access.
access, which is go to your doctor. All of those things that you mentioned, are any of them focused on resolving the root cause of your health issues? Yes or no?
No.
No, they're not. Insurance is not designed, and neither is our medical system, to resolve the root cause of our health condition, unfortunately. But yet we're paying for our insurance every month. Okay? Now, if you want to resolve the root cause, and you want to turn your health around, and you already know your insurance isn't going to pay for it, then what are you going to need to do?
I need to pay more.
Pay more and pay out of pocket. Really interesting that you say those words. Let me break those down for you. I love it. Pay out of pocket. That's a term. Who invented the pay out of pocket term?
The healthcare industry.
The healthcare system, the insurance industry, right? And then the pay more, that's our society. We think that if we're going to pay our own money for our health, that that's more. Or that that's, taking it out of our pocket. It's so painful. They want us to feel the pain of that. But here's a mind shift for you. It's an investment in you, in your families. It's not just you. We're talking legacy, right? If it was just about you, it would just be that that's all that benefits. But guess what? When you start restoring your health and you become the influencer in your family, that becomes legacy. And what legacy means is whatever you're doing is benefiting somebody else. It benefits you, but it benefits somebody else, and that's legacy, and that's your family. So that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a mind shift in America. You must invest in yourself, and it not be painful. That it be the right thing to do, because how's it working for us otherwise? Right? Let's just be really honest. So insurance is an issue too. And you know, I wish so badly, but kind of not, and you'll know why. I do wish that somebody would have educated me about my investing in myself, educated my family about investing in themselves when I was growing up. I wouldn't have struggled the way I struggled. And also, I wouldn't have experienced what we experienced in my family, and that was when I was 27, my mother was diagnosed with severe depression. And she was a medical technologist. She worked in the medical field, so she had access to medication. So she started self-medicating for her depression. She had anxiety, she had insomnia, and she had digestive issues. So she self-medicated for all of that. And one night, my dad, she kissed my dad goodnight. She went to bed, she closed the bedroom door, she laid down on her bed, and she proceeded to overdose on pharmaceuticals to try to take her life. My dad and my sister found her in time. They got her to the hospital, to the emergency room. I got there as soon as I got the call. And I'll never forget going into the room. My mom and I, very tight bond. I went up to her and she just sort of dismissed me and said, "Judy, don't worry about me. Just go on with your life." And sort of pushing me away, which had never happened before. And I just thought, go on with my life. All I wanted to do was help her. But I didn't have any of this experience. None of it. I didn't know anything. So the only thing I knew to do was to get home before my parents did and to clear out all the medications from under her medicine cabinet, out of her medicine cabinet, out from under her bathroom. There was a lot under her sink. So I got rid of them all, and I thought, she's going to be okay, you know. And my mom wanted to be okay. She did. So she checked herself into a mental health clinic that was in our town. I grew up in Fremont, so not too far from here. And she felt good there. She felt comfortable there because she knew some of the doctors there. We had hope there when she was there. But by the end of the first day, they informed my dad that the insurance company wasn't going to, her insurance didn't cover her there at that facility. And so they had to move her outside of our town, pretty far away. This caused her great duress. It caused us a lot of stress. And she got checked in, and they sent her home in one day, against our wishes. And so she struggled over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and one day she was home by herself for 1 hour, and she attempted her life again, and she succeeded. This is how I lost my mother, and it didn't have to happen. It's a travesty. If we would have known, if we would have not relied on insurance, if we would have known that you can actually take responsibility for yourself and invest in yourself and change things. But I didn't know, she didn't know, we didn't know. And this is bittersweet because I know now. I didn't get to help my mom, but at our clinic, our team gets to help people every single day restore their health, lift their depression, get off their medication if that's their choice. And this is, to me, this is a testimony to my mom. This is my legacy that I get to leave. And I know she's up there saying, go, go, keep going. But this is what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you all know that investing in yourself is how you're going to restore your health and how you're going to change your life and the lives of others around you. Because if I had stayed stuck where I was with my little one, her life would be very different than it is now. Very different. She's going to be going off to Cal Poly in 29 days. And I doubt that would be possible if I was still struggling the way I was struggling. I want to show you a picture of my mom before we go on. That's my mom. She was awesome. That was in the 80s when our glasses were really big. But they're coming back now. They were like this before, right? Like 10, now they're really big. Okay, I want to tell you how it's all connected in the body so that you understand what functional medicine is. When we age, what happens to our hormones? They get out of balance. When they get out of balance, what happens to our weight typically? We gain weight. All right, when we gain weight, how do we feel about ourselves? We don't feel good. We have stress, right? Let's go the other direction. Have any of you felt stressed before? In the last 5 hours? Getting here? Traffic, kids, text going off. Try not to text while you're driving. Want people to leave you alone. Don't look at your email, right? When we're stressed, what happens to our weight typically? We gain weight. When we gain weight, do you think that helps balance our hormones or sends them more out of balance? Do you see how it's connected? Right? Everything is connected in the body. We are a beautiful symphony of systems that rely on each other, that work together. When one system goes out of balance, what do you think happens to the neighboring system? Is it affected? Absolutely. So we have to address the body as a whole. That's what functional medicine does. We look at the body and we improve the body with the function of the body as a whole. We don't look at parts like the medical system does. If you have a hormone issue, you go see an endocrinologist. If you have a neurological issue, you see a neurologist. If you feel down and blue, they send you to a psychiatrist, right? Well, guess what? We're all connected. So we have to look at the body that way, not as separate parts. So, functional medicine, what we do is we look at the body and we determine through testing, DNA testing, blood testing, food sensitivity testing, lots of other modalities and things that are super fun. We determine what is lacking in your body. What's lacking, right? Why isn't the body functioning right? Why can't you lose weight? Why can't you not sleep? Why are you fatigued all the time? Why do you have brain fog? What's going on? Why are you on that medication, right? Why is your blood sugar out of balance? So we determine what's lacking in the body, and we give the body what it's lacking. Then we determine what's interfering with the optimal function of the body. Because guess what? You were designed perfectly. Totally designed perfectly. In God's image, everything is a work of art. But if there's stuff interfering with that, it's just like a radio station. You can't hear it clearly if there's static. Your body can't function if there's interference. So we determine what's interfering and we remove the interference. Here's a picture. I like pictures to explain it. This is a house plant. I want you to think of yourselves as a house plant. I know you're much more complex than that, but just for the moment, you're a house plant. All right? How's this house plant doing? Not real good. This house plant is lacking some things. What is it lacking?
Water.
Water.
Nutrients.
Nutrients. Yes. So water, sunlight, and nutrients. Also, there's interference. This plant lives in a house where there's a teenager that drinks Red Bull every day and doesn't finish the Red Bull and dumps it into the plant. All right? So now the plant's drinking Red Bull. Is that a happy plant? No. What if we move the plant and put it into a sunny window, give it water, fertilize it, right? Give it what it's lacking, and then we get rid of all the Red Bull out of the house and teach the teenager to drink pure, clean water. What's going to happen to this plant? It's going to thrive. That's the same as you. That's our human body. Remove what's interfering, give the body what's lacking. I want you to hear from some of our wellness partners now, and the reason why we like to play these stories for you is because these people are just like you. They came to a seminar or they watched a webinar, some sort of education to understand our approach, and they said, I am so done feeling how I'm feeling, and I'm going to start working on my health. This is Caroline. She's going to be talking about her metabolic age, and when you come work with us, we benchmark you. We do a lot of testing, and typically when you have some issues going on or excess weight, your metabolic age is going to be older than your chronological age. But our goal is to get your metabolic age to come down and meet your chronological age, and then get younger. So we have a lot of like 65-year-old women walking around going, I'm 52 today. So that's what Caroline is talking about.
I lost 16 pounds in the 6 weeks, and my metabolic age had been 73 before, and now it's 59.
Awesome.
And since I'm 63, I'm definitely going in the right direction.
Good. And then how are you feeling now after?
Definitely feeling better. Clothes are fitting that haven't fit in a long time, and I'm enjoying it, and people are noticing. a lot of people have complimented me on how much better, not only that I'm slimmer, but I look healthier, and a lot of good comments.
At the very beginning, I was on it 20 days and I lost 20 pounds and I felt great, proud of myself and happy all the time.
I was feeling very hopeless. I have diabetes and just feeling miserable. Medicine was not working and the medicines were making me feel even worse. So I was trying to find something that would help me control my diabetes without meds, and this has completely helped me. My blood sugar counts are below 100 every day on a regular basis.
And what were they before?
240, between 240 and 300.
Okay.
So it's awesome.
Well, first and foremost, I lost 21 pounds in 28 days doing the detox alone, and that was with limited exercise because I was focusing on my diet at the time, so it kind of just cleansed me out. Exactly what it's supposed to do. I got off a medication I was taking for acid reflux, which is pretty phenomenal. I've been able to keep that off, and it's been almost a year since I've been off of that. Overall, just feel better. I can work out way better than I used to. I saw more structured workouts. I learned a lot about how to use, different aspects of my body in better ways. And the program's been a huge help in my overall health and happiness.
I was on 8 medications and now I'm only on 2. Hopefully I'll be on none pretty soon. I've lost 18 pounds since the beginning of the year. And I'm really just enthusiastic about the whole thing. I feel good. I don't know, I just thank you so much for what you've done for me and what is allowing me to do for myself. And I've just had this constant all my life wanting to get better. Well, not all my life, but for the last 5 years. And this is just one more step in the right direction. And I'm really happy, and I want to live to be a lot older and not get sicker. That's Lisa. She's now doing like 5Ks and marathons and all this cool stuff. So let's talk about what happens to the body as we age and how we get into these situations. One of the reasons is because we don't have good information. We don't have a lot of education about what we're supposed to do. We don't know what we're supposed to do for exercise, what is actually right for us as an individual. Because you can walk into a gym and a trainer is going to say, oh, I'm going to take you through this workout, but what if that isn't your body type? What if that isn't in your DNA? What if you have more fast twitch muscles than slow twitch muscles, all of which gets determined through DNA testing? You're not going to get results, right? But we're given things like this, this is an ab coaster. This gets advertised on late night TV when your defenses are low and they're down and you've got your remote and you're sitting there and you have a little bit of a belly and you're flipping through the channels and you're like, hey, she looks pretty good. I bet I could look like that. Okay, I'm going to order that. So you order it and you get it home and you coast every day. You're coasting and you're coasting. And are you ever going to look like that? No. No, because that's false advertising. Okay, she probably didn't ever ab coast a day in her life. She probably dehydrated for that photo shoot and then they spritzed her with water, right? So that's false advertising. We are not given the correct education about what we're supposed to do to actually exercise. Now there's exercising for enjoyment, which we encourage people to do if you love Pilates, yoga, walking, that sort of thing. But to get the results that you want as you age, we have to put muscle on the body. Okay? I'm not talking about bodybuilder muscle, but as we age, we lose muscle automatically. From the age of 30, in fact, we start losing muscle. 30! You think, man, 30, everything was great, right? Remember that? You didn't have a care in the world. Now, but you start losing muscle. So now 40, 50, 60, right? Losing muscle at a more rapid rate. We have to put muscle back on the body just to be able to function, to pick up the grandkids, the kids, the groceries, that sort of thing. Get off the ground in your garden. I'm not talking about 5 hours a day in the gym. I'm talking about 45 minutes, 3, maybe 4 days a week. Don't even have to work out in your gym. Is that acceptable to you all? But you have to know what to do. Don't go in and just spin your wheels and not get any results. And we see this all the time. So when we have more muscle on our body, does our metabolism speed up or slow down? It speeds up. And when our metabolism speeds up, what do we burn more of? Yep. Right? So we need to have muscle on the body. That will lower our metabolic age. Right? It will increase our metabolism. The other thing we have to talk about is food, of course. Food has a definition. It comes from the dictionary, and that is that which is eaten to sustain life, provide energy, and promote the growth and repair of tissue. That's the definition. What kind of food fits that description? Vegetables, fruit, lean protein, right? How about that? Does that fit that description? No, that's not food, right? I call that food stuffs. There's nothing in that your body can use. Nothing. It's not nutrients. We need nutrients. Nutrients are the conversations that our cells need. Okay? Let's talk about inflammation. Because if we're not eating the right things, we're going to become inflamed. Now, 10 years ago, if I would have said, do you guys know what inflammation is? 10 years ago, you might have said, yeah, it's when you sprain your ankle, right, and it starts to swell up. But now, if I ask you what inflammation is, do you all know what it is?
Yeah.
Right? But can you define it? That's the trick. We know what it is because we've heard of it, but can you define it? It's this elusive condition that has just cropped up in the last 8 to 10 years. Now, everyone's talking about inflammation, and everybody's feeling inflammation, and there are reasons for that, and there are solutions to it. Let's talk about the reasons. First one is stress. So there's 3 types of negative stress that we endure as we age that cause our body to become inflamed. The first type of stress that we endure as age is just physical ailments on our body, injuries. Maybe you work a job that's really physical. Maybe you don't work a job that's physical. Maybe your job is very sedentary. That's a stress on the body. That actually causes inflammation if you're sitting too much. All right? The second type of negative stress is chemical stress. Chemicals cause inflammation. How? How do chemicals cause inflammation? Well, they get into our body. Where do chemicals come from that get into our body? How are they getting in there? Shampoo, cleaning supplies, deodorant, water, where else? The air, pollution, processed food, medication, right? So chemicals are coming into our body from everywhere. And when they get into your body, they're called toxins. Have you heard of toxins? All right, toxins bind to your cells. Your little cell, we all had science, right? And we learned that we're made up of cells, right? Don't ask me how many, I don't know. They're turning over every day, though. Toxins are binding to our cells. That causes our cells to be inflamed. So we're inflamed at a cellular level. That's what inflammation is. Inflammation is that your cells are inflamed. That's why inflammation, well, we'll get to that in a second. The other one that causes inflammation is emotional stress, right? We already talked about that. Everyone here has experienced emotional stress, right? Can you control your kids? Yes or no? Not totally. How about your spouse or partner? Nope. Who's the only person you can control? Yourself. Yourself, right?